What's up, you guys? Today I want to talk to you about pantry moths. So maybe you've been in your pantry and you noticed, a few moths in there, and it's becoming a problem. It's pretty gross. Maybe they're getting into your food or something like that. I'm going to tell you where they're coming from and how you can get rid of them. What you're probably seeing is an Indian meal moth. It is the most common moth in America. You'll probably see it in your kitchen windows, your kitchen pantry definitely, maybe in your kitchen cabinets. Now, the first thing you might be thinking is, let me call a pest control technician and they'll come out here and do it for you. Well, first of all, pest control technicians, it costs quite a bit of money to have a professional come out to get rid of those pantry moths, and it's not really even necessary. You can totally do this on your own for no money at all, and this is where you start. So before we get started on treatment and prevention, let's first make sure what you're seeing is indeed an Indian meal moth. So here I'm just on Google Images. Here are some examples of Indian meal moths. The adult moths have a wingspan of about 5/8 to 3/4 inches. The wings are sort of burnished copper, almost purple. The upper part here is sort of a lighter brown, and the two separate colors are separated by this band, this darker gray band here. The mature larvae are dirty white. They can be pink, brown, or light green, and they're about a 1/2 inch long. The head and top of the first body segment behind the head are reddish to yellow-brown. Okay, so here we are over at the pantry where our Indian meal moth infestation is. I'll just show you a few things that Indian meal moths love and are more than likely to be in if you are having this issue. So if we look in here, we can see that there's bread. Moths love bread. They love grains. They love cornmeal, dried nuts. If you have pets, they love to get in the bird seed. They love dog biscuits and dog treats. I used to work at a pet store. All the time we would have dog treats and biscuits that would get infested with these Indian meal moths, and you could find the larva in the boxes of biscuits, and it would have like silk webbing all in it. So you're looking for the same thing in your pantry. Stuff like these crackers here. Maybe have a box of old crackers shoved in the back of your pantry you haven't touched in like 6 months or something. This is likely to be infested with Indian meal moths. So when you're going through your pantry, anything in a box like this, even if you want to check everything in a box, and even if there is like the plastic, maybe it's just the box and you haven't opened it or eaten any of the crackers. The meal moths can actually eat through this type of plastic, and they can still infest the crackers or the contents inside, whatever it is. So that's an example. Cereals. Same thing. If you have a cereal, maybe you bought this healthy cereal like the Special K, and you decided it was gross, so you just kept it in the back of your pantry for a long time. This is also a culprit of a case where Indian meal moths could infest. And so when you're looking inside, you're looking for that silk webbing. You're looking for, if this was closed, say you had never actually eaten the cereal, you're just looking for a bunch of holes, look like little BB holes in the plastic. That's where the larvae have eaten their way through the plastic and are now eating the cereal. So when you look in there, you should see quite a few larvae and probably some silk webbing. Things like cans, like this, they're not going to be able to get into the tin cans. They might be able to get through the plastic, might be able to get through cardboard, but they're not going to be able to get these cans. So put these cans over in a place where they won't be in the way, but you can certainly reuse these. This isn't something you need to discard and throw away. Again, here we have a bag of beans. They love dried beans, dried rice, things like that. You'll even, like this bag, it has not been opened, but just look for those little holes in the packaging. And if you look closely, after you see those holes in the packaging, you'll probably see some silk webbing and larvae inside. So after you start going through all your boxes of food and bags of dried grain, things like that, you want to empty everything out of your pantry and get the pantry totally clean with nothing inside of it. You want to put the boxes, you want to inspect the boxes like the cereal boxes, the box of crackers, the bread. You want to inspect those thoroughly. Make sure there's no signs of any larvae or silk webbing on them. If they do look good, then put them in a spot where you can reuse it. If it looks to be infested, throw it away, discard it outside in an outside trash bin, or tightly seal it in a black garbage bag. When you get the pantry totally empty of everything, you want to take a vacuum out the cracks and crevices on the floor, around the baseboards, around the shelving, the corners in the back there. There might be some crumbs in the little cracks and crevices. You're really just trying to get all the crumbs out, and also the larvae that might be in those cracks and crevices, kind of chilling, hanging out. You want to vacuum them up so they're out of the way. After you clean your pantry with the vacuum and vacuum up all the crumbs and breadcrumbs, and you want to use an alcohol-based solution to wipe down all the counters. Just make sure that everything is dead on your shelves. Make sure they're sparkly clean, no signs of any kind of food or grime or anything like that. So that's all there is to it, guys. No need to call and spend lots of money on a professional pest control technician. This is something you can totally do yourself. It's just a matter of going through all those grainy products in your pantry, like the cereal, whole grains, your breads, cornmeal, dog treats, bird seeds, things like that. Just go through everything. Make sure you discard and throw away anything that's infested. And clean out your pantry, vacuum all those cracks and crevices, make sure there's no crumbs and things lying around, make sure there's totally wiped clean, and then that should be it. Your issue should be gone in just a few days. If you see some of those moths, flying around and you're not satisfied, you can use one of those allure pheromone traps for moths. You can string one of those up, and that will attract the remaining moths, and they'll get stuck in that little sticky trap and they'll die. Also, you could use a SureKill CT511. It's an aerosol spray. You can just fog it into the pantry and close the door. That'll kill any moths that are still in there. You might have to kind of leave the house for an hour as the spray sort of settles down. Otherwise, you could inhale it and it would just make you kind of cough. Probably wouldn't be good for you. So those are my tips. Thank you so much for watching. If you could just click the like button down below, that would be great. It helps me out tremendously. And until next time.